to week 48 of the 52-week art journal journey. I'm Melinda, and I'm here to encourage you to reclaim your creativity and establish a healthy habit of creative self-care through my simple form of art journaling. For the second time that I can remember doing so during this 52-week art journal journey, I mentioned in the Facebook group what the upcoming project would be. And as that time, I completely shifted gears. I guess it's not completely, because I did stick with acrylic paints because we've been doing so much watercolor for a while. But instead of doing black and white, that I also wanted to incorporate into some new collage paper that I hoped to start selling at the craft art and vendor show I participated in on Saturday. Well, I started doing that project with Nora, and we weren't able to get back to it when we couldn't finish it. And I came across something, no surprise if you have been participating in this journey. I came across something on Instagram, but not by Andrea Nelson or Lacey Walker of Rebel Unicorn. Someone new. And she's Norwegian, and I won't risk butchering her name, but you can find the link to her Instagram in the description. This week we are having fun pulling paint, dragging paint. What would be the correct word for this? I'm not really sure at the moment. But if you were here the week we made funky, translucent cats, that is how we are laying down our color again this week, but a little differently. And as I went, I very quickly decided that instead of wiping off my card every time in between swipes, I would let my colors blend more. So instead of the nice, distinct lines I saw on Instagram or that were in our cats, I have more, what would be a good adjective? Well, mine is a bit more blended. This week, you will need your art journal and some masking or painters or delicate surface tape, your plastic credit card type card, and some inexpensive acrylic craft paint. As always, I say it doesn't need to be expensive to reclaim your creativity. This week, instead of applying our paint to our page, we apply a little blob of paint to our card and then drag it across the surface. As I said, I didn't clean my card, and I just kept smearing and created a night sky. If you would like to splatter some stars in yours, the wetter the paint, the more it splatters. However, if you have too much water, you won't get a distinct white color. My stars are just kind of splatter stars, but if you find the reel, you will see that one of my new favorites on Instagram also decorated hers, and they were much rounder. Have fun with it, play around, make your stars suit you, or experiment with what effects you can create. One thing I loved about the more colorful than mine adorable little night sky nestled so cutely in its journal page was its frame. I used a micron pen. You can use whatever black pen or anything else works for you. Make some wobbly frames around the outside of your picture. I did some neurographic art, my first round of framing one of my night skies. And there are some more ideas later in this video. I did want to do another round with this in my art journal, something closer in size to, as I mentioned, how cute I thought the other one was on its page. But this one's pretty cool. I decided to reuse my tape from the first time around, but I also had to add more. to make my picture smaller. Same process, use the card to apply the paint to your journal page. As I always say, have fun, enjoy it. Our art journals are a safe place for us to experiment. Your art journal is as private as you want it to be. I share mine to encourage others to reclaim their creativity and establish a healthy habit of creative self-care. If you decide to share some of your art on Instagram, you can tag me, Melinda Van Rij, or better.with.art, my new account that I'm phasing more of my creative self-care content to. As you can see, this purple is more translucent than the blue. So it looks completely different on the bare paper than it does over the blue, because you can see what's behind it through it. Our art journals are also a place where we can express ourselves without being concerned about what others think. I decided to try out some silver this time around. It's hard to tell on the actual picture, but it is metallic and shiny. I don't often use metallics, especially outside of my art journal. Again, this is all about making the project the way you want to. Be more colorful, be less colorful, blend your colors more, keep them more distinct, add stars, don't add stars, embellish, don't embellish. And as well as how you do each project each week. This week's journaling is artist's choice also. Do some stream of consciousness writing, whatever comes to mind. And as you can see, if you pull up some paper with your tape, you can use a handy dandy glue stick to place it back down. More fun framing time. Instead of rounding out corners, as we do in our neurographic art, I went with some different patterns in the segments created by where the lines cross. I did some horizontal lines, and after I did the horizontal lines, I switched over to little circles. I can never do too many little circles because my hands cramp up, but I really like how they look. And I would love to see how your projects turn out. If you don't want to share them on social media, you can also sign up below and receive, currently weekly, but it'll be a little less as we go into the new year. You'll be among the first to know about what's next for the next 52 weeks. These 52 weeks will stay available on YouTube, don't worry. As I said, emails and an invitation to the private Facebook group I mentioned earlier. I will be back next week with another small art and journaling prompt. In the meantime, enjoy creating night skies and embellishing them how you will, and check out past prompts for more arty inspiration.